What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. It's Thursday, dispatching live. It's time to look at the load boards, talk about dispatching, carriers, brokers. We've got some news. We've got information. We have a special guest, Ross from Super Dispatch is joining us today, so that's going to be great. So stick around. 1 hour show. We'll add Ross at the 30 minutes. And let's go ahead and just kick things off. And please do jump in the live chat. And if you missed the show live, jump into the YouTube comments. Please do remember to leave a like. Thank you so much. And here she is. She's my co-host. Sue, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, great. I can hear you. I can see you. Oh, the disclaimer is calling my name, so here we go.
Go for it.
Let's see now. Let's do... Oh, there's our video. We have a video coming up. Oh, and there we go. Now I'm sharing the screen. Okay, here we go. Please do. Oh, and I need to get the words for the woke waiver. Please be aware that, in compliance with DEI, the views and analysis provided on Dispatching Live relate to the auto transport industry as a whole and may not relate directly to ATI Auto Business, Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, or audience members. All viewers and participants of this content expressly waive any rights during this live program, whether in voice, chat, comment, video, or audio, and have been advised and encouraged not to say or express any opinion that may relate directly to ATI Auto Business, Auto Transport Intel, any affiliates, advertisers, audience members, or any other company or individual, and should not feel they have the right to do so. Okay. Get that out of the way. You can go ahead and share your screen.
Squeen?
You can share your screen.
I'll give you my
squeen.
squeen.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, how's everybody doing in the live chat? Ty is here. He's in love with you. As we all
Ty.
are. And Sue is also in the live chat. Murphy Auto Transport Services. Super Dispatch is here. Hey, what's up, everybody? Ross Quinn says hello, hello. And so if you have, during this show, if you have a Super Dispatch question in the live chat, questions shall go.
Yeah.
Answers will follow.
Do it.
Douglas is here. Hey, I'm back. Your favorite hot Canadian. You got it, Douglas. Applause for the favorite hot Canadian. The FHC. And yeah, it looks like I think it is Ben and Ross from Super Dispatch. Oh, we got Chris from support team. Great. And Ross is here. All right, great. High quality brand name? No way. Hello, appreciate what you're doing. That is so cool. Long time listener, first time caller. Thank you so much. High quality brand name. And I love your handle. Ken
That's
Collins
awesome.
is here. Yeah, it is awesome. Ken Collins says, good afternoon. Thank you so much. Wow. It is great to be back. We had the holiday. And I took time off. Did you take time off?
Yeah, I took off Tuesday. We went up to Springfield on Monday night, and we went and watched a movie. We went and saw the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Oh, I've
Excellent.
seen that. I love
It was
Guardians
good,
of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Really?
It's one of my favorite shows. period.
That movie's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And seriously, I sat through the credits just like, I'll take, another hour if you got it. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we went to do you guys have an Alamo up there by you where you can eat and drink and everything else while you're sitting laid back?
We used to, actually, in downtown Kansas City, we used to have an Alamo, and But we have
they took it away, huh?
eat your screen and all that stuff, But Alamo was cool because you could drink, right?
Right, I don't drink, but yeah, you can have alcohol.
I mean,
I was more interested in the shakes. They have the best
somebody
shakes
does.
ever.
Yeah, the milkshakes are great. The thing about drinking through a movie, I've done it.
How can you leave afterwards?
It's all pee breaks and you start, thinking about other crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it. Actually, I think I saw Pulp Fiction at one of those.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, and I'm like, I've already seen this. This scene's awesome!
Yeah. Yeah, they have a deal. I think you can pay $20 a month and you can see unlimited movies.
Oh, my gosh.
Too, which that's a good deal, actually, if you lived in a town like that.
In today's? Oh,
yeah.
That's insane.
It came up on the screen while we were sitting there.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
I was like, yeah, that would
Because I think they offer that at but it's like, it's not $20. Yeah.
No, it's probably more than that, but I mean the
Wow.
tickets for just a regular movie is anywhere between 11 and 15 depending on where you're sitting and the place.
Oh,
So
yeah.
$20 for a whole month, I didn't think it was bad at all.
No,
So
you can't get out of a grocery store now
no.
for under $50.
Yeah, ain't
It's
that the
crazy.
truth?
Although eggs are finally
Down?
cheap again. Yeah.
Yeah, what are they down
Eggs
to?
and
Last time I saw
car
them like
making
3 or 4 bucks.
making things cheap again. I am
Add
Groot.
butter.
Exactly. Oh, butter's back down? I don't follow
No,
butter.
butter's high too.
Oh,
I mean,
butter's
it's
high?
like real butter, like for a 4 block, I think it's like $4 or $5 a piece. It's crazy.
Just the
It's gonna be out
sticks?
there. Yeah, well, it's 4 sticks, but it's real butter. It's not margarine. It's the real butter is $4 or $5. I think
Yeah,
they're 4.84 or something like
I'm
that
not
one.
up on the butter knowledge.
I like real butter, so
Apparently. Shout out to real butter. And that's the way we do it here.
we
Getting
just
settled
talk about
in.
random shit.
Yeah. And of course you have Super Loadboard pulled up.
Yep, I do.
Talk about
And
super. Talk about it.
so, well, let me give you the lowdown on the rest of it. So we're at 30,703. Last week, well, 2 weeks ago, we were at 35,526. So we've gone down 5,000 loads.
Okay.
What's scary to me is we also have this GM thing coming up. So,
GM thing.
yeah, they're talking about striking.
Okay. The UAW?
Yeah, maybe. I
The
don't
United
know.
Auto Workers, those are the right?
Yeah, the workers,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
for GM
okay.
and stuff out of Detroit.
See, I see the headlines, I glaze it. I can't follow who's going
Well,
on
and
strike.
yeah, and who knows what, but I was talking to one of my bigger car dealership ladies yesterday, and she says they're really worried about it.
What's interesting about this, because I was just looking at automotive news and I screenshotted a article for the news Tuesday night,
Uh-huh.
and the gist of it was most automakers have had an uptick in new car sales this year.
Really?
So this comes at a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and see, okay, so
gonna look
technically
for a
none of
headline.
us are OEMs, right?
Yeah,
We're
right.
not doing that.
Right.
But those
New
cars have to
cars.
get to the dealer, and the dealer's got to sell it, and that becomes our
Well,
cars as 3
and-
cars and 5 cars. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
and here's why this is important. Yeah, exactly. Even if you don't haul new cars, you want to know about new car
Right.
sales, because do you know those new car sales lead to trade-ins, which
Right.
leads to transport.
right. Absolutely. Or just
Mhm.
transport period if they're, I mean, we've hauled new ones all the time too, but yeah, it's something we need to look at. Like my thought is like, man, we're still going through, as far as I'm concerned, slow season because it
Right.
really hasn't changed a whole
And
lot,
and
right?
there's the summation.
Yeah.
Is that where it's now July, it's Q3
Mhm.
2023. How would you summarize the first half of 2023?
Sucky.
Like, were there any months you thought, wow, good transportation?
Oh, no, I mean, I've had a good week one time, and then the
Good
next week
weeks.
it's shit.
But
So
by
it's kinda
July,
hard.
May should have
Yeah.
been great, right?
Oh yeah, between we usually when we start making really good money is anywhere between February all the way to July. And then we start seeing the slow season come in at the end of July, definitely August, and then we just continue on till the end of the year and it just slowly gets worse, right? So that's what I'm worried about. They're talking about this happening, I think, end of August, 1st of September, where we're already going to be going into the bad season as it is. And then you add that to it, it's going to make it difficult for sure.
Look at this. Ken just messaged me through LinkedIn. Thanks, Ken. White House takes steps to avoid
Oh, cool.
damaging auto strike.
What are they going to do? Give them more money?
Which, when you need help, call the White House.
Yeah.
Come on. This is pesky ad. I can't get rid of that? Jeez.
Villains.
But thank you. I'll check it out. But thank you. And this is actually, I was just talking to Ross before the show about attention span.
Yeah.
Am I going to read all this?
No.
I mean,
You get to the pertinent parts and then that's it. And click out.
who's going to read? What percentage of people are going to read the whole article? It's not good.
10% probably.
It's not good.
I'm guessing, but
So, I mean, what percentage of people are still listening now? It's not good.
11.
Right. You can go ahead and take the screen back when you get a chance.
Right.
Well, we'll do. Let's look at Super Loadboard. We were talking about load
Yep.
volume. We're curious. Did you have a good month this year? Sue is thinking. I mean, if you had to say, if you had to pick a month, Sue, I'm forcing you. Pick a month. What was the best month this year so
Oh
far?
God. Probably have to go look at paperwork,
She's
but
groaning. I mean,
yeah.
you can't recall. It wasn't. It
No, because
wasn't
there's
June.
nothing that
Nothing.
just stands out. I mean, like I said, one time I'll have a driver that makes a fantastic week. Like you saw, I sent that to you. It was what, $11,000. But
Yeah.
that's not all the drivers either. Like he's not picky. He
Okay.
will go and do whatever. He can take four and not just three sometimes. So that makes a difference. And
Okay.
he can haul for everybody except for Rhett. And you know, that makes a difference. Plus, Danny stays out for 3 weeks usually at a time. Right now, he's on a month-long trip to. He went to Mexico. He's going to Greece. He's going
I'm so
to a whole bunch of
glad.
places. Yeah.
I'm so
So
glad we're talking about this because okay, I was reminded recently. Um, there's still plenty of YouTube videos about making money car hauling,
oh yeah, I see
and,
him all over.
and which yeah, for a week. Um, I want to go to. I thought this was interesting, and I'm not in touch with any YouTubers per se,
Right.
so that's fine. I'm not mad about it. I think it's weird that everybody knows that ATI is here, and I don't know, whatever. Let's go to this one. How I make 10,000 per week hotshot trucking.
He
Now,
also has one. You see that one? It says gross versus net when making 10,000 in 1 week.
thank you.
That's interesting too.
And also, and these aren't cars,
Oh, really?
which is that's hotshot trucking is anything. Now, I
What
know
the
he does
hell?
move cars too, but this is where just the understanding of what we're talking about is really all over the place.
Right.
But again, let's go to hotshot trucking where you're hauling pipes and air conditioners and stuff.
Right.
Are you making
What's that?
10,000 every week?
Yeah, see, I don't, who knows?
I don't
I mean,
I
if he
don't know
were, I
about
mean, it says he
hotshot
made a
freight.
million too, if you look up there. It says what I have
Yeah,
learned
I
after
know.
making $1 million. That says 2 months ago. So,
All right. Well, so I just feel like I just chose the channel because this is the one I was looking at. I really
mhm,
don't watch. I don't think it's a big shocker. I don't watch the other channels either because we're just not on the same page.
right.
So moving on. I'll tell you what. What this is a good time to say. We are on ATI. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for tuning in, saying hello. Well, here's what we're gonna do. We talk business. So if you are looking for the make money fast, make money easy, make it great every week, cash coming in, wrong channel.
Right.
But if you're interested, and here's another thing. This is so weird. This is another reason why I think it's weird that we're still so fragmented. In his own video, he said, you know, a lot of the guys out here just don't understand the industry as a whole.
hmm
Well, I built a channel for that. And you already know about me, but, you know, we'll just keep moving on. That'd be such a great time. Listen, if you want to learn more about the industry and how things work, go to ATI. Now let's go back to hauling cash. So, right? But, you know, and I
Right.
said, and I hear myself saying these things, and I'm like, okay, have I gone too far to the dark side? But isn't it easy to see why there's a dark side?
Oh, yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
this is not the greatest industry, and me and Ty just got out of another meeting where it's true. There are folks worried about is there going to be a problem in transportation? And here's what's weird. If there are companies and lenders and remarketers and consigners and auctions worried about finding enough transporters, the transporters thinking, how is that possible? Because I'm dying over here.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
and you know what the answer is?
Too cheap. What?
Well, one might argue there's too many people in the middle.
Oh.
Because if you keep to, and this is why I bark about rates and fees and
Right.
percentages. If you're keeping half the money just because you got the relationship, you're killing the transporter.
Right.
You are
Right.
putting him out of business. Now, I realize there's no moral obligation. This is America. All right.
Right.
Which I think is also funny because I read social media on LinkedIn and the holidays. You would think we were all just patriots standing by, ready to sing the Star Spangled Banner and help
And
thy
help
neighbor and
everybody.
all that. Okay, well, I read it too, and I'm telling you, now I've really done it. I've really gone off the deep end. There's
Right.
nobody watching. Welcome back to ATI. Nobody cares. Hey, nobody sent me their trucks. I'm assuming everybody was having a good time. Please do show me your truck. Send it in. Autotransportintel@gmail.com. And by the way, I know there's trucks rolling because Super Dispatch is moving over 500,000 vehicles a month. Go ahead and take that in. That is a really cool graph. All right, here we go. Okay, Jay. Hey, did you get the memo?
Go ahead.
You just sent me this.
Yes, I did.
I want you to tell me what you're reading. It's better you than me.
Okay, well, when I first said deadhead, I'm just sitting here going, okay, but we also aren't going to take cheap loads to get to that next spot, right? So I think this is just a way for people to go in and see what their loads are, but I sent it to you because I thought it was kind of funny. Because I'm like, we all know that they're like rates that go in between okay, so a deadhead to me is someplace where you're driving anywhere from 100 to 200 miles in between your loads, right? Is that how you would describe it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But who's going to do a load for that for 80 or $90? Who has enough time to stop and pick up? I mean, that's one of my number one rules. I don't do it. We go on to where it's supposed to be to pick up because what I've had happen before with 80 and $90 loads is that it takes more time. We end up losing the load that we went to go get originally because we couldn't get there in time. And usually if I figure in those deadhead miles when I'm doing a load, shall we say. Okay. But I know I have some drivers who are like, I need something to go from this point A to point B to get me there. But you have to think about that. To me, deadhead miles for something like that is going to, shit, I've seen them on there for $50. So do you really have enough time to stop how many places for $90? Even if you had a 3-pack for $90 each, still going to take you 2 hours to load. I mean, that's the average for most people, right? And then you still got to unload. Then you got to go to the new place to pick up the other load. Is it really worth that? And that's what they're talking about. And then if you go to look at their deadhead loads, I guarantee you they're what I'm saying, 80, 90, maybe less to move that stuff. So I don't know. What's your perspective on it? Because that's the way I took it.
You did amazing. I give you an A plus. I mean,
Okay.
here's the thing: is if you are, and we also, camera one. I know that this is the dangerous side. And I was actually just telling somebody this, that, going along with the 4th of July and all that, I want to stick with that theme because I believe in it too. But when it comes to automotive, there's lots of stuff we won't say that we don't talk about, or maybe we talk about privately. But nobody will say openly, okay, let's go ahead and break that down. Because right now we have an email on the screen. It's sent from ACERTUS. And it says, avoid a deadhead with ACERTUS. And all we're doing is talking about this email. Is there any other place anybody will talk about this email publicly? No.
No.
And if they do, it's how great this is.
Yeah.
But we're talking about what maybe isn't the greatest. Because you just said it. Number one, if you're looking at a deadhead, things aren't going great, by the way, right?
Well, I mean, it depends.
Okay, fair enough. If you made $5 a mile driving to the tip of North Dakota,
right?
All right, we're gonna deadhead,
right?
But if your money leg was only $1.90 a mile, are you ready for a deadhead?
No.
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 But this email is.
Right.
That's the problem, is that this assumes that you just need gas money.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, that's the way I would take it. Yeah.
But did you get more than gas money on your money leg.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to dance around and not say anything because we plan on staying in business. This is why we have a woke waiver. Is that I don't want to upset any company directly, but if you're keeping half of the carrier's money on the money legs, I don't know how you helping me on a deadhead is really all that stuff to shout about.
No.
But I appreciate the attempt at good marketing. It's just that if the carriers could talk en masse right now live, I don't know if you'd love it. Which is why
True.
ATI is here. Because there isn't anywhere else you're going to hear. You will on Facebook. That's why I try to share Facebook. And please share it with me. I'll try to do this alone. This is the channel that brought the NAAA or ACV versus NAAA lawsuit video. This is the only channel you're going to hear these things, and we plan on continuing to do it because it's a public service. Okay, Jay, wait, you really got your flute going. Now you're really 4th of July-ing it out, aren't you? All right, let's keep going. Speaking of, here's another one. This is really interesting.
Got that right after the show. Right after the show, literally.
Wow.
That's not crazy.
So the subject is Central Dispatch Justice and Equality Petition. Mm-hmm. Yee. You never want to see justice in the subject. All right, dear carrier companies, we, Central Dispatch users, have noticed a recent update I'm reading to the platform that introduced a new rate canceled transactions feature. While we appreciate the attempt to implement the new features, we believe this update is biased and unfair. We ask that you join and sign our petition to express our general dissatisfaction with this update and to show the unity of our voices. Click here to sign the petition. Now, I just read the email. Sue, what can you tell us about this?
Well, I didn't like it. Now, I get what they're saying because I totally agree to some. As a broker, I think we should be able to do this because what they took away from brokers was that we could not give somebody a negative if they canceled the load and they didn't deliver it. And that included Coparts, IAs, where they screw us over and they wait till the last minute to cancel, or a VIP customer and they wait till the last minute. We should be able, whether they delivered or not, to do this. And now, as a transporter, once again, it's the same thing. I don't like it just because of those reasons, even though if we give them plenty of notice for Copart or plenty of notice for IA that we can't make it, then they can still do it. I get both sides of it. My biggest problem isn't that. My biggest problem is that Central Dispatch is not going to filter any of this stuff. And that's what's happening right now. I'm getting negatives because I gave somebody a negative in retaliation, which is one of the things, they boast about in the very beginning. And then you always had to send in your paperwork. I didn't have a problem sending in paperwork. I don't think they should be allowed to do it. And that's still happening. Like Jen said the other day, she goes, if you don't pay the broker fee, we're going to have to give you a negative. He goes, well, I'm just going to give you a negative back in return. I am out $1,200 so far since the new transactional ratings have happened because people wouldn't pay. And they have no reason to pay because there's nothing we can do to them to hold over their head, right? We have to wait till almost the 60 days to see if we can get them to pay us. And then if they don't, then you give them a negative. Whoop-de-frickin-do. And then they give you a negative back in return. That's my problem with it. I know they want to be hands-off, but I don't think you can be hands-off in these kinds of situations because really the ratings mean nothing. I mean, they absolutely mean nothing because you're reading what somebody wrote. Then the other person says, well, that's not true. It only happened this way. So who are you supposed to believe? The only ones that I can believe are the people I actually know that I've worked with before, as far as because I'll look at the brokers that have given these people negatives. And if I know them and I know it's legit because I know who they are, then I believe them. But if you don't know this random broker, right, how are you supposed to know if they're telling the truth? I mean, they're putting stuff on there, like crazy stuff on there. And sometimes where it says like, click if this was helpful, right? Well, it may be helpful, but I don't know if it's true. And that's my problem with it. Nobody knows if it's true. And granted, we all know before, we didn't know if it was true either, but at least they had to send in some paperwork to verify it So you had some kind of, realm of knowing whether that was true or not. Now you don't know anything. There's nothing to be attached. There's no proof to be, you can't even attach anything on there, like the load sheet or anything for somebody to read to see if you're telling the truth that they didn't pay the broker fee or if they did pay the broker fee. And then, like, what happens if you screw up and give the wrong company the wrong negative? We can't take it off. I said that happened to one of ours. They shouldn't have got a negative, and we tell them Central Dispatch that. Sorry, there's nothing we can do. See ya. That's the email I got. Sorry. Too bad. So sad. And I don't think that's right because people are going to screw up. We all know that. There's multiple companies on here with the same names over and over again. We all know that too. Someone's going to get the wrong negative to the wrong company. It used to happen to me all the time. I'd have to call them up. Oh, I'm sorry. I gave it to the wrong company. Can't even do that now anymore. All right. Sorry. I'm on my little
I
podium.
love it. I love it. And by the way, how do we even know this email's real? Right?
True.
I
Well,
mean,
true. It could be a scam to click on too.
well, look at the guy's email address.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
The whole world's lost it. You just
Yes.
said it. Look, here's one.
Yep, I sent you that too.
Beware
Yeah.
alert, notice fake company.
Mm-hmm.
It has come to our attention. There is another blankety blank Inc. out of Nashville. We're out of Jacksonville. They are
And
not
we're
paying,
manipulated.
and that we're getting crap. Yeah.
And like, for example, yesterday, Jen
Dear
was
user,
going
sorry,
through-
can't help. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
And by the
see
way,
ya.
you're behind on your monthly fee.
Yeah. Jen found 3 companies on Central yesterday that did not even have authority, and she turned them all into Central, and Central says, okay, we'll look into that. That's crazy. And that was on the FMCSA saying they were not legit companies anymore. They didn't have their authority. So, I mean, I just don't, that shouldn't even be happening, right? They
It's-
should be getting a notice.
What is fun, and I've said this, I'll go to camera 1. I don't need to be right, but I am often, is that I see the Bud Light moment coming. It's weird how, like, because if you go on too long not listening to anybody else, your cult drinks the Kool-Aid long enough, and man, oh man, do you whiff it.
Yeah.
Now, I realize there's been focus groups, but real change? I mean, real change?
No.
Please, come on. Here this came in, and this what's so great about ATI. We get all kinds of stuff now. New cancellation ratings change can allow us to sign and cancel 1 million fake orders and rate them all 5-star. Is that true?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
No way. Really? How? Tell me how.
So you give someone a load and they accept it, they mark it delivered, you give them a rating, and then you take the load back. That's how
Okay,
you give ratings.
And you
now.
can do that 1 million times?
Well, yeah, there's no.
Can
Once
we
you cancel it.
I know I don't want to be accused of starting a movement or fake news
Right.
or whatever, but can we get somebody to, I don't know, somebody else finish that sentence?
I mean,
'Cause I
as far
find
as
this
1
fascinating.
million
Is
fake
that
orders,
true?
I mean, technically you can, because
How about
what you would do once you cancel that load, it becomes a new load again for you, so you can just keep doing it.
Rather than suggesting, I'm just asking the question.
Yeah.
How about, question mark, somebody starts a TikTok challenge to see how many canceled ratings they can get for 5 stars? Question mark.
True. I mean,
We
if you
could
had that
start a
much
TikTok challenge. How many, so here it is, how many fake canceled order 5-star ratings can you get in 5 minutes?
Oh,
on
it'll take you
TikTok?
longer than that.
Oh. How
Okay,
long
so
will
this is what happens.
All right. How long
Once
will
they
it take
mark
to get
delivered.
100 fake 5-star ratings?
So once they mark delivered, it takes about 5 minutes for it to show up on your ratings.
Okay.
And then you give them your positive, then you cancel
Okay.
the load.
But
so
how
it
many
takes,
can-
let's say,
All right, but how many could you do in 5 minutes so that you wait another? So within 10 minutes, you should be able
well,
to
you
get.
wouldn't be able to, because
Really?
it depends. Here's the thing.
All right, so you have to wait 5 minutes per order. It takes 5
Well,
minutes.
and
Oh,
see,
man, this is
it
going to
depends
take
on
us
how
all
much
week
you're
to get
paying.
1 million fake ratings.
No, wait. It depends on how much you're paying to Central Dispatch on how many loads you can list.
Oh.
So, like, I can only list 30 at a time for the month. So I could do
Oh.
30, but then I'd have to cancel all of them so I could relist my loads at 30. So, but if you had a bigger,
All right. How long would it
contract,
take you to get
yeah.
30? How long would it take you to
oh,
get
I could
30?
probably put out 30. It would probably take me at least 20 minutes just because you have to make up all these fake loads. You know what
So
I mean?
we could get 30 fake ratings.
Probably in 30 minutes. Yeah.
Ooh, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
No.
That's $1 a
Technically
rating,
yeah,
an hour.
technically, yeah, a minute of rating kind of thing.
Carry the one. All right, but is it? I mean,
But it's the
this
same
is,
concept.
and here's why I'm doing this. I went criminal mastermind because the scammers are thinking this way. Okay,
Yeah.
how do we monetize the crime and then turn it into cash? There must be a way to cash in on this.
Right.
There has to be.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I mean, you know what? Minus the complaints divided by the I don't know. All right, let's keep
Well,
going.
like for example,
Yeah?
I don't know if
Just hit
Vance
it
sent
again.
you this, but Vance sent me one. I thought he sent it to you too, where he asked for a load, and these people were just really trying to get ratings,
Yeah.
and that just happened like a week or so ago.
Yeah. Well,
So,
we've seen loads posted where it wasn't
Oh, yeah.
even really a load. It was, hey, I'm just trying to get a rating.
yeah,
And
oh
there's-
yeah,
I mean, is there anything wrong with that? I mean, why
yeah.
not? Dude,
Well,
this is auto transport. You could do whatever you want.
well, that's true, but I don't like it. Vance didn't like it. Like he was trying to get this load, and you couldn't get the load because it was a fake load, and it was like, and
It's
it
a
was for
fake
his
load.
8, 9, 10 car hauler.
Sue, tell me, explain the problem.
Well, that
All
is
right.
for sure.
Hey, somebody said protect your safer registration.
That came from Jen. Yes, she found that on
Oh,
Auto
so
Transport Intel.
are-
They're stealing people's stuff. Yeah.
So explain, tell me more. This is
So
crazy.
what they're
What is
calling
this?
in, they're getting on the MCS 150, and I think most of them are probably calling in because there's nothing on here that says that they can't call in. They don't ask for anything for proof when you call in.
So safer.
So they're changing,
they're just
they're
going to
changing their
safer?
MCS 150, yeah. And so what the MCS 150 is that tells them exactly where you live, where you're at, blah 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 blah. You know, it's all the stuff to keep track of you. So
Yeah.
what they're doing is they're going in and changing it to their information, and then they get loads, and they're stealing the vehicles.
Wow.
This guy doesn't know because they've changed the phone number, they've changed the address, they've done whatever they wanted to be able to grab these loads.
Well,
that's crazy.
I will say the days
That's probably
of
freight too.
I have seen this too. Is that if you go to Central and you go to the dock pack, you can get the signature.
Oh yeah, I know.
And the days of that are rapidly coming. I mean, how many
They
places can you go to get somebody's signature?
True.
I mean, very few. I
that's
can't
on your
name
W9.
another way to get a bunch of people's
Yeah.
signatures. But if you have a Central account, you go to dock packs.
Yeah.
I mean, right now there's somebody like figuring out how to automate getting everybody's signature. Shoot, it's probably
True.
already done.
Well,
Guy,
you're
somebody
probably
just
right.
walked into an office and said, "Sir, I got 20,000 signatures, and I just got them. It was pretty easy."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way they kind of talk about DAT on this, I think this is referring to more to freight, but it can be done with anybody that has the MCS 150, which is anybody that's a carrier. So all of us have to fill them out every year.
Right. Bold says, "How did you get their PIN?"
They didn't ask for a PIN when they called in. I think.
Well,
that's the problem.
this goes back to phishing, or
Yeah.
is it
There you go. Yeah, that's true,
social
too.
engineering? Social engineering is actually social engineering is another one of those phrases that you really don't want to hear.
Yeah.
But that's literally what's happening. I mean, that's what's happening on a sales call. It's social engineering. So if you're on a fraud call, it's social engineering on steroids.
Also,
And-
we found out some stuff on there about looking up ratings, by the way, if somebody wants
Where?
I can tell you. So Jen found it, and I don't think this was there before, but on like when you go to check a rating on a company. Remember I said you can never figure out if they've hauled for you or not because it's all just listed.
Oh, yeah.
To the right-hand side of the page now on a company, it says your connection.
You want to share that?
Yeah.
Oh,
That way
cool. So
everybody
we
can
got
see
like
it.
a life hack live?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And I swear this wasn't on there, but maybe we can go back and look at our old ones. But I never saw it, and they never explained it to me, right?
Yeah, right.
So here's your connection with this company. That means he's hauled for me 3 times, and I've given him 5-star ratings each time.
Okay.
So that's how you tell if they've hauled for you before. Now, if it
How did you
was
find
less,
them?
well, Jen just found it when we were going through the other day trying to find some
Okay.
people that had hauled for us, which I thought, I don't remember seeing that. Remember, they told me it was on there, but I never saw it, and they would never explain to me how you did a search for them. And that's what
Okay.
they said, there was a search. Well, this isn't a search. It's sitting right there on the page. Don't get me wrong, this is great. My question is, because I haven't tried this yet, what if you gave them bad ratings? Can you look at all of them? Maybe you can. Nope, I can't click on that. So I don't know how you're supposed to go in and look at all the ratings. Because normally, like this, you can click on this, and it tells you how many 1 stars, how many 5 stars, and it will tell you what happened or whatnot. You know what I mean? But this part, it's not. Like if I had written something in there like they're fantastic and they did this, or they were horrible, they stole the card, can you really look at it unless you start digging through all your ratings? I don't know. That part I haven't gotten that far with. But at least we've got this now.
I'm gonna say something positive. I know.
Okay.
Scary.
Yeah.
So, what was being talked about 6 months ago in beta is now live. It looks good. I gotta say, like, if I was a brand new user, I'd be like, this looks great.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It really looks good. I had to look. I don't even have a butt on that sentence.
Well, I mean,
What do you got, COVID, Jay? Gotta go lay down or something.
Some of these people write some crazy stuff on here. I know people have seen this stuff on here. Oh my God. Like they've written some really, and they're saying they're checking this stuff, but some of this stuff is pretty abusive. So,
wow. You need to send me, I want you to screenshot
next time I find
some.
one.
I want to read that. The next show, we're going to read craziness in the ratings.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I think we're almost done with our slides. Oh yes, vandalized ATM and a vandalized mall. That was last week's show. Well, it's ongoing.
Pretty much.
Which is why we recommend, you really do want to know more about, if you're a shipper or a broker, find out more about posting loads on Super Loadboard. And we've noticed there's a lot more companies doing that. We're going to be talking about that more with Ross. We can also talk about benefits and comparisons of Super Pay. And there's a lot of info there. Don't forget, we got the Lucky Load being given away every month. The June Lucky Load winner has already been announced. So do me a favor, stick around. Right after this, we're going to be live with Ross from Super Dispatch.
Hey guys, what are you up to?
Hi, Jasmine. We just picked the Lucky Load winner.
No way.
Yeah. So what do I have to do to win the Lucky Load? Just gotta be a verified carrier. You gotta book a load on Super Loadboard. And it's gotta be a Super Pay load. So our winner this time is MC2 Transport. All right, let's give him a call.
All right, let's do it.
I need to voicemail about check. I'm not available at the time to leave a name and a number.
A few moments later.
Or press 1 for more options.
Yesterday, we picked our Lucky Load winner, and we tried to call them a couple times, and we weren't able to connect, but I am going to call our Lucky Load winner, and we're going to tell them what they won.
This is Al.
Hey, Al, this is Ben with the Super Dispatch team. How are you?
Hey, man, how are you? I'm good.
I'm just calling today to let you know that you're the lucky winner for this month, man. So congratulations.
Thank you much. Thank you.
We just want to say thank you.
I'm excited to death about this.
That's great. That's great. We really thank you for using Super Dispatch, and if you need anything at all, just give us a call, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you much.
All right, Al, you take care. Congratulations again.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The next evolution of moving cars faster, smarter, and easier is here. Super Pay by Super Dispatch. Today, shippers waste hours managing fragmented payment systems. And carriers are left wondering, never knowing when they'll finally get the payment they're owed. Super Pay saves everyone time and hassle by securely automating payment upon proof of delivery. No more tracking down payments or onboarding carriers to disconnected payment systems. With integrated payments with Super Pay, Super Dispatch is now the only end-to-end, all-in-one auto transport platform. Automate payments where you automate transport.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Hey, welcome back to ATI Dispatching Live on Thursday. We've got Ross Quinn in the queue, so let's go ahead and bring him in. Thanks for jumping in the live chat. You've got information, Lucky Load, Super Dispatch, Murphy Auto Transport Services. Hey, Ross, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, Jay. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Great. It's good to have you back. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
For anybody who missed you last time or doesn't know who you are, please do say hello and tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, I am 6 foot. I come in at about 165 pounds. I have. Oh, is this Auto Transport Intel? Whoops. Yeah, so I worked at Super Dispatch for about 4.5 years. I'm on our sales team, and I've worked with hundreds of carriers and hundreds of shippers, and heard a lot about different companies, different use cases, and yeah, have a lot of experience talking to auto transporters, no matter what side of the fence they fall on. So it's cool to kind of get to watch y'all's show and be a part of it now. But yeah, just a lot of experience in freight brokering too. So before Super Dispatch, I was at a company in Kansas that did freight brokering. And that was my education into the transportation world. So I was an account manager then. I wanted to get into software, and I pivoted into Super Dispatch. But yeah, long story short, sales guy here at Super Dispatch. I don't sell to you, I sell with you. We are a partner. But that's my spiel.
I'll jump in with a question. So you work in sales. What types of, right, without giving away secret sauce, what types of companies are you talking to?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like we'll talk to freight carriers. I know y'all were talking about like that hotshot hauler earlier. This guy does cars. He moves anything under the sun. We'll get people that may focus more on freight for their outbound stuff. But to get back home, they may hop on our load board to get a car. So I'll talk with people like that. When it comes to like brokers, we have a wide range of brokerages that use Super Dispatch, one specific to vehicle shipping and ones that run the gamut on freight, specialized equipment that requires step decks, goosenecks, everything. And then we work with a lot of shippers. So it could be, leasing companies, it could be dealer groups or dealerships. It could be like consigners, auctions. It kind of is really the kind of full, any type of company within an ecosystem that wants to manage transport and find visibility into it. We kind of work with them. They have a part in what we're building.
So I like that too, because I like to ask, what's that load? Who's shipping it? Why? Where's it going? Where's it picking up? I find it really fascinating. Once you look at who the shippers are, what this load is, where it's picking up and delivering, and why it's moving, and then you start talking to shippers, there's a heck of a lot going on beyond the load. Whoa, we just got a new show called Beyond the Load? Sick!
Exactly. I think one thing that Beck, our CEO, has talked about, and kind of what I put into my conversations with people is we want you to manage exceptions. That's the whole part of transport that I think is always going to exist, even when you have an automated truck, or an EV truck that's got self-driving. That thing's going to break down at some point. Someone's got to send something else to go out and pick it up. Like there's always going to be an exception, an issue that needs to be managed. We want you to use Super Dispatch to identify those exceptions faster and manage them. And then everything else we want to try and streamline as much as possible. So updates from drivers, updates to drivers, they're driving on the road, they're loading and unloading cars like Sue talked about earlier. She doesn't want to go pick up Deadhead while she's already got something going from point A to point B, because it may take her out a route. Going to pick up a load may actually take 30 to 45 minutes. Like that's 35 to 45 minutes of like unloading maybe 2 other cars, then loading another car, putting the other 2 cars on there and going somewhere. Drivers are doing a lot. So if you have a tool in your hand to get you an automated update, you get a notification on your app that just says, hey, this happened. It's less having to like open up your phone, review some paperwork in an email that's attached. It's just a lot. So we try and streamline that, starting with, the shipper who's created the order and getting it out to that driver they want to work with.
Well, there's another thing is that people in offices just don't realize what people in parking lots are going through. And Sue, how would you finish that thought?
Say it again for me. Sorry, they were.
She's always working. It's amazing she's able to do this show. Me, I can't do 2 things at once. I can't load the dishwasher and smoke a cigar at the same time. I don't know who can. So you've got like, we saw the don't deadhead and all that stuff,
Right.
or just if you need help, just chat us.
Right.
Hold on, man. I am outside all day. Devin is in the scorching heat.
Right.
Have we lost touch of who our labor force is here? By the way, I know just saying labor force sounds offensive.
Yeah, it does.
But, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just got canceled again. Who wants to, in a nicer way, pick up that thought? I mean, we really have to understand who we're working with and how hard it is for them. And we have to make it easier to interact, right?
Yeah, you mean as like the big brokers and what they're saying, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
big
I don't think they
brokers.
get it. That's
They
why I've always
don't.
said
They
if they could
don't.
get in a truck for a day with a driver when it's super hot and when it's freezing outside and see what they go through, they would understand it a little bit more. And they
And-
would also understand they don't want to stop for a $50 load or a $60 load when it's 104 degrees
This isn't
outside.
just to make gas money.
Yeah,
And this shouldn't be an if. This should literally be mandatory.
true. I think if you're doing a short run, that should pay at least $1 a mile. And that doesn't, and that means if it's 60 miles, I don't want $60 either, just so you know. I want at least $200.
Devin
if
says,
I'm stopping.
Devin says, wow, I'm a day laborer. Well,
Now
that's
they're
what's
gonna
funny about talking about the big brokers, because in their eyes, tell me you're
Yes.
not.
Well, yeah. Well, same thing with dealerships, too. They treat
Oh, yeah.
most of the
Oh
drivers
my
like
gosh.
crap.
Oh my gosh, deal. I get it now. Like Silver Mint is here, and Silver Mint, every time we say love the dealer, he drops the phone. He like trips over and lands, like what?
Yeah. I mean, they're not all like that. Just like not, every place is like that. Not every transporter is an asshole. We all have goods, bads, and uglies in everything that we do. But I will say that probably 80% of the dealerships treat the drivers like crap,
They
because I hear
do.
it all the time.
Oh, no,
I hear
I
how
know
they're
they
like
do.
they treat them like they're subhuman. Here,
Dude.
take that truck and shove it up your butt. They won't sign paperwork. They won't do anything. I don't give a crap. And then you have to call the broker and say they refuse to sign. Why? And I'm like, because he's an asshole. What do you want me to tell you?
This is so funny. When I was a dispatcher, just this conversation's funny. When I was a dispatcher, I totally hated talking to dealers.
Yeah. Because
But,
they never answer the phone.
Well, that's one of the
Either
things I learned,
to-
though. Here's we
to
teach this.
check
this,
to see it.
This is in dispatching training. Is you have to understand who you're talking to, and this comes back on the transporter. A transporter rolls up like it's a resident, dealer, salvage. Every customer is different. Now, I'm not saying you got to be a different human being, but you have to understand, read the room, right? When you call a dealer, they work in departments.
Right.
So you got to know how to get to
Used
the right
car,
department.
new
Yeah,
car,
exactly.
lease
And
person.
the receptionist will not patch you in.
Well,
I know,
get
I
that
wasn't
done.
fair. I had to,
Sometimes.
to say something crazy.
Sometimes they're like, sorry, can't do nothing for you. That we had that happen since Friday on one vehicle. We finally got it verified at the last minute before he was supposed to show up. So yeah, I mean, I get it.
So, but with all those problems, believe me, I got this. With all those problems, you need help. And one of the ways that Super Dispatch helps is through technology. And I have some of these notes in front of me and this is true, I just need to be organized. Instant booking. You can book loads 24/7 on Super Dispatch. Is that right?
Yeah.
For the most part. If they're Instabook, yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It definitely helps, I mean, for a driver that doesn't need to sit idle waiting for someone to get back to them, that's definitely helpful. And from the shipper's perspective, they get to either choose who can book instantly with them, or they can, turn on the faucet and allow every verified carrier on our network, which is over 8,000 verified carriers, to book with them instantly. So it could be, at night, over the weekend, you don't have someone who's, sitting in that seat right then, ready to take a call. That instant booking is critically valuable, especially for someone like a dealership, who the quicker they get that car on the lot, the quicker they can sell it. So if they're working with someone who they've chosen to be this instant booking carrier, that carrier can see their post, pick up the order, deliver it, and get paid in a streamlined fashion without, someone lifting a finger. That may happen 30% of the time. You may still have to get a request and speak with and have that driver dispatched after like checking out their information we collect. But, I think if you really do have over 100 preferred carriers, you would be looking at instant bookings for 15 to 20%, 20% on a higher number amount of your loads. Exactly.
Well, we had it happen to us on actually 4th of July. One of our cars canceled for the guy that was picking up on Wednesday, and Janice went on there and got a car from Backlot Cars, and it was done, and he was filled back up. So yeah, it's fantastic, especially holidays. Oh God, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I mean, so we kind of got into the whole talk about like what a driver's actually doing out there, and it came from like me saying, shippers or brokers, like ideally we want them to be left with managing exceptions when they use our shipper TMS. There's always going to be something that happens. So put a tool in a driver's hands that requires them to do less work because they're already doing all of this other manual work. I mean, driving itself, when you have, 40,000 pounds of cars behind you, if you have like a 10-car Stinger and it's pouring down rain, I mean, that's like flying a jumbo jet. Like it's terrifying, I'm sure. Like that's a lot of energy that's just you're expending right there. So managing exceptions is what we want to do, and having that instant book feature for the carriers to book instantly, for the shippers and brokers to allow them to book instantly, that helps them focus on other items.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Check. All right, good. I was just listening and taking some notes. Okay, and I'll tell you what. One of the things that what we're talking about here is, I know as a dispatcher, that's what makes. I'm so glad I now have the dispatching, that depth of pain. Right, and I talk about it that way because that's real. I mean, it's a really hard job.
Stressful. It's very stressful.
It's very stressful, and this is where. Within the macrocosm of people not understanding somebody else's job, I realize that when dispatchers are being cracked on for being illegal scammers or whatever, when you're an actual dispatcher, that's a hard job.
Yeah, it really is.
So having a tool that allows me to book instantly anytime. Like, when I was a dispatcher, that tool was... Well, there was only one place I could go. I guess there were two places I could go to book loads. And I relied on those tools on nights and weekends. Mm-hmm. So now that Super Dispatch offers that, and has been offering it for years, I wonder how many people rely on Super Dispatch on nights and weekends to get loads without having to try to. When you're calling, I've talked to brokers that are at soccer games.
Yeah.
And when I get back from the soccer game, I'll dispatch it.
Yeah.
And I pray that's true.
Right.
Are you
don't
tired
know.
of praying for your loads? Just book it, right? And how many shippers would prefer posting on Super Dispatch if they knew, whoa,
You didn't have
whoa,
to
whoa,
talk to
that's
anybody.
just one benefit? I can get carriers with the click of a button.
Mhm.
And we also have, okay, load alerts. Here's another one. How does this work? If you're a carrier, what's a load alert and how does that help me?
Yeah, so as a carrier, whether that carrier is an owner operator or you're looking at like a 10-car fleet, through the desktop that carriers have access to get to our load board, they're able to put in load alerts. So you get notifications anytime after you set up your load alert. That could be, I want to get notified within, a 50-mile radius of any loads coming out of Kansas City. Anytime a load's posted, I get notified about it. So you'll have that notification through email or through text to, again, pull you back to get to that load. That text or email will have a link for you to jump back to our load board instantly. So just another quick way where it's not a phone call. You see it on your time, but you know it's come through. So those can be set up by dispatchers. And then again, if a carrier is an owner operator, they can set up that load alert through their app as well. So it's functional if you're mobile, and it's great if you're a larger team too. And again, it's just a passive way of using our load board without actually being inside of it. I don't need to be staring, refreshing the screen all the time. Though that works too. And if you have the time to do it, go out there and get it done. But this is, again, a passive way to, let your team know what's available, and you don't need to be glued to the screen. You can be doing other things that you need to check off that list for the day.
And I'm as a dispatcher, you could say, well, that's going to cut into my job or whatever. Let me tell you something. As a dispatcher, when I worked for Don and he was running 3 trailers, that was when things were the best. But if you're a dispatcher and you can work with one carrier that has 3 trailers, bam. Well, Don would call me, super bam. Don would call me, hey, load just popped up. Call that one in Austin. And then we could put it with the one in Mississippi, and you already got that one. Whatever, my words are weird. But this is real. When you're working as a team and you're seeing loads that make sense, it's all about making money. Mm-hmm. Who cares who saw the load? Book it. Have a relationship with your carrier where as a dispatcher, listen, anything I call, and because there's still calls to be made.
Yeah.
And in fact, here, it's not even a call. You're clicking a button.
Yeah, whether it's in your hand or on the desktop computer you're using. Yeah, either way.
What do you think of that, Sue? Are you how many loads are you clicking? How many loads are you booking via button?
Yeah, I'm interested in that too.
Yeah.
Not very many.
Right. It's still too many. Why is that? Because these
Nobody's
loads are
using
posted by
Super Dispatch like
folks
they
you got to
should.
call.
Yeah, we have to call. You have to text. Most of them are texting anymore. I mean, if you go into the load, almost everything is text.
Interesting. So you're booking a lot via text.
Mm-hmm.
How many
I would
text
say
messages?
via text. What do you think we're booking via text? At least 50%?
Wow.
At least 50%.
That's high.
It might be higher than that.
How many text messages does it take to book a load?
Oh, God.
10?
No. I mean, here's the thing. You're dealing with people, I don't want to say it like this, but most of the time they can't speak very good English. So you text them all your information in the first text. Say, I'll pick it up on this date, and here's the name of my company. I'm out of this. This is what I always do. And then they say, can you give me your company name and when you're going to pick up and deliver, after I just sent them the text. So that ends up being at least 3. And then if they don't send it to you right away, then you're like, did you find me on Central? So you might get that load an hour later. So you don't know whether to count on it or not. Now, even the big brokers on some of these, like Anu is putting now on certain loads, only certain loads, a person to text, because the rest of the time you can't get through to Anu. I got one today. I got it within 2 minutes. That's never happened for a load for Anu. Usually I have to call him 10 times before you get a live person. And when I asked him for another vehicle that had a different load ID, no answer. Would not answer me at all. Just the one that I asked for. So I don't know what the rhyme or reasoning for that is, because I assumed they were doing that because nobody can get through to them, but apparently not. So it's like maybe certain loads go to certain people. And I know part of the reason when you text people on the load board for certain loads, it's because, and I don't know if everybody knows this, there are brokers out there or importer, exporters, dealers that let other people use their central dispatch and post their load on there. And then that's who you have to talk to. And that's usually where you get screwed over.
Right. That's why it says another dude's name.
Yes,
because,
exactly.
And that's when you're an early dispatcher and you call the company and they're like, nope, you got to call the number on the order ID. And I'm like, well, but you're on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, nope, you got to call. And, and you don't know what's going on.
Well, I do it that way just because it keeps my phone lines from being crazy in here. So everybody texts for me. Text my line.
It rubs you. There's a weird feeling though. It'd be like showing up at a date, blind date. Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm not your actual date. She's coming. What?
Well. I mean, in general, it doesn't
feels
bother
that way.
me.
It feels strange.
The only time it really irritates me is when you can tell this is not that person for this dealer or whatever is going on. And you can usually tell by what it says to the side, or the phone number. It doesn't have anything to do with, like, if they're in Columbus, Ohio, it should be a certain number, right? It doesn't have anything to do with that. My problem with those loads is they're usually IA or Copart, and then they go, oh yeah, we have a forklift at delivery. And then you show up and there's no forklift at delivery. There's no person at delivery.
There's a dude eating an apple.
Yeah. Well, he's like, call me 2 hours before you get there. When they say call me 2 hours before you get there, that means they don't work there. They don't have anything to do with that. You have to call him so he comes and meets you after he lied to you about having a forklift. And now you can't get the car off. And now you're waiting for the money, as well as maybe having to go to IA or Copart. So those are the things to look for, just so everybody knows.
and now you get the email, hey, avoid a deadhead. And you're like, I'm going to, go crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Verification of ratings. What is that? What does that mean? Is that
from
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sue could probably talk about the rating system on Super Dispatch more intelligently than I, but
good.
Yeah, I do know that when they are in effect, it does come down to the order being accepted. So in Super Dispatch, when there's a workflow going on, I'm a shipper, I post a load, a carrier requests it through the load board. They don't have to call or text. And I approve that requested load. Maybe I like the price. I can see all of that carrier's documentation. Maybe I've worked with them before. I'm going to send them that order. They have to officially accept it. So once they officially accept it, each party is able to give a rating. And typically on our ratings, after a negative rating has been entered for whatever reason, we do prompt you with certain boxes you can check for common reasons. One is canceled, but it allows there to be a 10-day dispute period. An email notification either goes out to that broker or goes out to that carrier, that shipper, whoever has received that negative notification. And again, in a happy world, hopefully that 10-day period allows that issue to get resolved. I don't have the statistics on how many times it gets resolved, but from there, it does get posted out to the community after 10 days. And then positive ratings go out immediately.
What, I'm thinking of Judge Judy and all this stuff. Sue, what if we held on Dispatching Live, like when you've got a really ugly dispute and it's hard to tell what's going on?
That would pump up the ratings.
Let's
do
it live.
I have no problem with that.
Right? Wouldn't that be crazy awesome? Yeah. And we're not the final decision makers either. We're just a final advisory committee. But we're like the integrity division. And we're going to take a look at this. We're going to review it live. And then the live chat can help weigh in and understand what we're looking at. That would be insane.
It would.
Oh
that
my
would
God.
Be pretty wild. I mean, yeah, like Sue mentioned, you used to be able to send in paperwork with your ratings when it comes down to central dispatch and how it used to be. Yeah. If y'all got paperwork in, that'd be pretty You have the evidence in hand. You weigh out what's going on. One
Right.
party maybe doesn't
We're like,
show up
okay,
to
I've got
court
the
that
photos,
day.
and I can share
Well,
the
yeah,
screen. So
and
we
that's
got
kind
the
of how it
photos.
works. It's one person doesn't show up to
We can
the
even
court,
have live
they kick
guests.
it out. Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
here we go. All right, here's the dispute. All right, so now we got the broker on line 1. We got the carrier on line 2. That would be like really crazy, but we'd have to get really good before we get to the and mute out the cuss words. So basically, just mute.
Yeah.
I think what's important too is that we've got Chris in the chat. Chris is a part of the support team, but we've got, Mac, we've got Joe, who you saw in that Lucky Load video. I mean, we have a team of people that,
And actually talk to you.
that
They
talk to
actually
you,
talk to you.
and they
No
realize that,
way.
like
I know it's hard to believe.
People you can talk to.
I
Get
know.
out
Yes.
here.
Yes, and on a chat, or they'll even call you if you say, "Hey, call me. I really need more help." They will call me.
you?
Yes, they will.
Oh my
It
gosh.
happens.
It
It's
does.
yeah.
I know it's hard to believe, but there's actually a company out there that actually makes phone calls and answers them. So
And I mean, I get that a lot from companies I talk to, whether it's a carrier or a shipper. It's just like that's an anomaly in itself, as people will communicate with you back. You'd think it'd be a hard thing to do, but I mean, yeah, it kind of goes back to how we've built Super Dispatch in general. It comes from feedback from customers. So like a lot of that feedback, whether it's simply helping someone log in, but it's like us learning why they couldn't have logged in and making that easier a month later, 6 months later, as we start to like add these products and features.
What's interesting too is so someone could say, well, it sounds like a small outfit. Being able to talk to people and this and that. How many cars you guys moving a month?
Yeah, I know that number, I mean, we've this year, each month have done over 500,000 vehicles delivered. We being the entire car hauling community on Super Dispatch. That comes from a driver hitting confirmed delivery on the mobile app. So like, if you think about, hey, I don't know if Super Dispatch could handle the amount of volume we have, or we've got a lot of drivers. I don't know if my drivers could learn it. Well, there are thousands of drivers that have learned how to use the app to the tune of delivering it and hitting that button 500,000 plus times each month this year. So and that mobile app was built by drivers, for that simple, specific purpose of just sending someone an update about what I did. We tried to make that as smooth as possible.
I'm going to jump in and say this too, because I look at the number. We've got 20,000 drivers. We've got 50,000 drivers. I'll see this number out on social media, along with other things, and I'm like, wow, that's quite a thing to say. But you actual users of the Super Dispatch mobile app, I don't know that number, and I'm not asking for it, but I'm guessing it's pretty healthy.
It's pretty helpful. Yeah, you can go to the Google Play Store. You could go to the Apple Store and see how many downloads they've been, and you can see how many like stars we've been rated. I think it's like right at 4 or just above on each app store. So that alone, I don't know the numbers either, and it's a variable number, but I know we have over 8,000 verified carriers. So that's where
right. Thank you.
That
and
list
that's
of carriers
a
that
real
can like,
number.
And it is a real
Yes,
number.
it's
It's
a
not more
real
than
number.
9,000.
No.
It's no less than 8,000.
But-
And again, it fluctuates because some verified carriers become unverified. So we always want to see it continue to trend up. That's the hope. But the fact that a carrier who's not verified can't request a posted vehicle you have on the load board, that's important. Again, that does a lot of heavy lifting from shippers and brokers outside of any compliance process they have. So again, kind of getting back to just like managing,
See, as a
the hard
shipper-
stuff.
As a shipper, I can say, well, I saw somebody else said they have 17,000 plus. I'm here to let you know, I bet you they can't give you a 7. If you said, can I see the list? They can't produce it. Now, if they do produce a list, it's not an internal list. Yeah, I can go get lists at other places. And I've seen, so I looked at Central Dispatch on their internal numbers, carriers, shippers, dealers, some of those numbers can be broken out, can come close to some of that. Like carriers, 17,000 carriers, I think you can find somewhere in that range on Central. But that doesn't mean you can. Well, I don't know. Can you contact that carrier? Could they be somebody? I don't actually. I see, and this is where we get in the weeds again. But
on Super, like, there's well over 8,000 carrier accounts. Like, don't get me wrong. There's thousands and thousands. There's tens of thousands of carrier accounts, but they're not all verified. You as a shipper or broker, you can choose to dispatch whoever you want on our platform. But if you post out a vehicle, we want carriers who request those posted vehicles to be intentional, and we want them to be verified. So it gives you a little bit more peace of mind before you start interacting with them. That's the whole idea behind it. They're, if they're an unverified carrier, maybe they just received a direct dispatch from a broker or shipper they worked with, and that's good and fine. It's a tool that carrier can now use to easily update that broker back. And then they can go back to living on Central or wherever else they manage their business. But if they want to be intentional and they want loads that are posted to our load board, they have to be a verified carrier. And we have just over 8,000.
Perfect. And so that gets back into, because I've heard folks say, well, I use that load board, but to be honest, here are my, and you get somebody talking and then they realize, wow, I got a lot of issues. I'm worried about insurance. I get whatever random BOL from whatever random guy. None of them are similar. There's no consistency. I don't really have centralization of data, especially if you list it somewhere and then you dispatch it somewhere else. What's it like to manage all that?
Yeah.
Wow,
it's a lot.
I can't imagine doing that.
And
why do so many companies do that?
Yeah, and as a carrier, having like our load board, and I keep saying verified carriers are the only ones that can request. That doesn't mean if you're an unverified carrier, you've never used our platform before, you can't access the load board for free. You can still see all these postings, which makes it great for you. You can see potential business, but when you want to go make that step of requesting it, we do have a 3-step process of just, hey, give us your verified documents that we request. Typically, it takes 24 to 48 hours. We have a pretty decent process of getting people through. And then from there, once they are verified, they'll then be able to officially request stuff. But before then, they're able to go in and review the load board to see what may be available if they're having, cold feet.
All right. We've talked a lot of business. Jay, I came here for the fun. All right. I'm about to deliver. I got some videos here. Let's go ahead and share the sound. Let's watch a video. You can see it, right?
Yeah.
And then just let me know that you heard that. You heard a guy say something.
I can't hear anything.
Man, I'm here at the gas.
No.
No. I don't know. Everybody else
here we go.
can,
All right, here we go.
Gas station. Everybody, look at all.
You hear that?
Yep.
All right, here we go, everybody. All right, who wants to play? Why in the world should I still have a gas car when I can get an EV? Here we go. Thanks for jumping in the live chat. This is ATI. We're in our final segment, and then we'll let you go, we promise. But you want to check this out. Watch this. Here we go.
Everything? Man, I'm here at the gas station. Everybody, look at all these Teslas. Oh, we're going to get me a Texer, trade in my gas burner to get, son of a gun. Look at this line. They're all waiting to get charged up. Are you guys kidding?
Oh, my.
You traded in your gas car for this? Hello? Oh, smoke another one. Go get him.
Smoke another
I know. This guy cracks me up. I want him as a guest.
Where is he at?
Oh,
Wow.
4
Is that,
hour
like,
late.
California? Or
It does look like California to me.
It's gotta be.
I guess
And he
see.
talks like California too. So this guy, love this guy.
Son of a gun. I'm going to put gas in my little Toyota. Man, I'm here at the gas station. Everybody, look at all these Teslas. Oh, we're going to get me a Texer, trade in my gas burner to get, son of a gun. Look at this line. They're all waiting to get charged up. Are you guys kidding?
And
you
how long
traded
does
in
it
your
take?
gas car for this?
I don't know.
Hello?
It takes a while.
Oh, smoke another one. Go get them. Man, poor people. Oh, 4 hour late. Son of a gun. I'm going to put gas in my little Toyota.
Toyota. That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Toyota.
So, all right, comments, and then we'll do another video. Comments. And we got Teslas.
agree.
Yeah.
I mean, and it all depends on where you live too. I mean, they're putting these up everywhere. Like I'm like 40 miles from Branson, right? So the Tanger outlet has one on every corner now for you to charge your car. And in fact, if you're parked in their parking spot, they call you over the big intercom system saying, "Move your car out of there. We need to get somebody in there that needs a battery." So, but I don't know how long it takes. Does anybody know how long it takes to charge one up to a full capacity? Because that's the crazy part, right?
I don't know that either.
I don't. I feel like I've heard, 30 minutes, but like I don't even know how much of a charge that completely gets you. I don't know what it is to a full charge. I have no idea.
Full.
But I also know, and I'm aware of this, is that we are in for a lot of change. This is all part of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when horses were being phased out by Model Ts, some guy with a horse was making a bunch of hay. So I get it. I mean, I realize that. But at the same time, today in 2023, that video remains, it bears fruit. I mean,
Okay.
the
This
guy's
can't
right.
be real. This says on a 23 Model 3, 8.5 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
At
Wow.
220 volts.
I had
1
a
hour
feeling it was
at
hours.
a 440 volts. So I bet these ones that you're at, like at the gas stations that they got, those are going to be 440. But that's still an hour you're sitting there in your car.
See, and that's another problem, is that right now there's a lot of different chargers, there's a lot of different types of batteries, there's not as many EV chargers available, and it will get better, but right now it's a little fun to have a gas-powered Toyota.
Yeah.
So keep sending in those videos, autotransportintel@gmail.com. All right, we have another. You thought that one was good. Watch this one.
The yard.
All right, here we go.
Yard. These are all the robots. That crane's automated right there. All these little cranes, all these little robots right here. Got to putting it down on they're called AGVs. I just call them robots for short. Boom. Here we go, this one's taking off. All the way down the dock. These are the job killers. Job killers. So that crane right there is automated. That can coming down is the crane operator bringing it down onto the platform from the ship, discharging from the ship right now. And then this automated crane will pick it up and put it on top of this job killer right here. There it is, man. Automation working. If you see this fence line right here, no humans are allowed on this side. If somebody breaches that gate, then the yard will shut down. Safety measure.
Wow.
There it is, man. Automation. Definitely not a good thing. I mean, good for the company, I guess, but not for us. All right, you have a blessed day, people. Be nice to each other.
All right. So, initial thoughts.
I don't know.
Part of
My
it,
initial
yes.
thoughts, keeps costs down. I'm not sure. like, I
I can.
seems like there's a lot of employees having to do that, prior. Where else will people end up going from there? I don't know.
So,
just the way
I'm ready to shed light. Sue, you got something? You have anything you want to say?
I mean, it's no different than what we're doing now in our industry. Everything's going to move forward. It's just the way it is. I mean, eventually those are going to be floating instead of riding on the
Self-checkout,
ground.
right? We have all and you see, I mean, there's been a rapid push towards self-checkout instead of checker.
Yeah.
And here's the really ugly political news, is that for years, if not decades, there were folks getting paid 6 figures a year to operate that crane. And if anybody touched his joystick, he called his leadership, his management, his union, and people came in and, took him out. Well, guess what, man? You made plenty of money pushing that joystick. We have tech now that can handle that. And more. Now, I know nobody wants to talk like that, but that is part of what's happened. So any overpaid job right now enjoy your joystick while you can. Because if you're being overpaid and you have this whole political movement to take care of you, your day is coming too. And I don't love it either, but that is actually part of the free republic capitalism that we enjoy. Is competitive advantage to make things cheaper and easier for the consumer. And you look at that video, you can't say, man, that doesn't look a heck of a lot more organized and easier than the old way. Now, I don't know how that translates into what we're doing here exactly. And I'm not looking to figure that out.
Took a lot of human ingenuity to get that thing looking so organized.
Let's look at it again. That is one insane looking organized deal.
Yard.
How in the world? These guys are genius.
These are all the robots. That crane's automated right there.
Here,
all these little cranes,
mute the.
All these little robots right here.
Let's see here. There we go.
Gotta
mute the guy. Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
How much?
I've never seen that before. Yeah.
So. Send your kid to college and go to MIT because this is the future.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Computers, yeah.
I want my kids to get into like drones and websites and computers and
therapy.
Yeah, right. We're gonna right.
Therapy.
They're gonna need therapy. That's correct.
Yep. I mean, yeah, they're gonna have to keep costs low if people don't have jobs.
Oh, I gotta check my. Thanks, Ken. I gotta check my LinkedIn. Too. Oh, Ken sent me. Yeah, here's another. Wow. Here we go. We've got another robot video here. Let's see. Ken just sent this in, and thanks for taking advantage of the channel. That's what this is all about. Is sharing information. This is great. Thank you, Ken.
Hey, Jay, I'm going to step away. I just want to say thank you to both you and Sue so much.
I'm having too much fun.
Thanks for enjoying us.
Thanks for, I'm having
guys,
fun
thanks
again.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Thank you
it's
so
awesome
much.
To be on
That's
here.
Awesome. And he had to go. Oh, you know what? He probably had a call or something. Here, I'm going to share this and then we're going to wrap it up. That was awesome. Okay. Yeah, he gave us a lot of time. You never know what you're in for with ATI. So, oh, okay. This was just, yeah. Let's see. Now, if there's music, I have to mute it. So we're just going to watch this video. This was sent in by Ken. Oh, here we go. Oh. Whoa. Now, I've seen this, but I knew it just needed to be integrated with a larger operation.
Right, because you see them on tow trucks all the time.
Yeah, because this is your future carpooler. I mean, you know, I'm just saying.
So are you saying like this is like Mannheim? Is that what you're saying?
So I don't know where this is at. We didn't catch the,
wow.
But that's okay. We don't need a brand name. We just need to know that this is, you know, this is coming.
Does this mean that they'll actually put them in the right lots when we go to find them?
Oh my gosh.
Is there never where they say they're supposed to be?
Well,
he's running it himself there.
Look at that. That's wild, right?
Yeah.
So
that would be my gamer kid.
I was just gonna say
right?
he plays Fortnite
yes.
on the weekend, and in the week he works for the auction.
And then what's the one where you drive too?
Yeah.
Where's the one that you kill people and drive? What's the name? Yeah, thank you. Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. Oh, right. Grand Theft Auction. Okay. Actually, that's your training. But I mean, see, this is solving a problem rather than replacing a solution. Is that how many times have you heard, hey, do you know of a car puller at? Do you know where I can get a car puller? Right. And
like
you know
we only have one left in Mount Juliet. So
do you know the insurance problems associated with random car pullers?
Are they paying a lot or do they pay it all?
Well, here's do you think if the insurance company knew that random guy showed up and moved the car, not only does the auto auction insurance company not exactly want to know, but whoever owns the vehicle's insurance company, they don't exactly want to know. Do you know, the worst case car puller situation, I guarantee there's a deposition transcript somewhere of car puller gone wrong, and there are 5 insurance companies sitting in the room.
And don't know what to do about it.
And they don't want this problem. Yeah. This could help fix that problem. By the way, this would be internal to the auction. Yeah, and you can park the cars however you want, whenever you want. Robots work all day and night. So,
Wow.
pretty interesting stuff.
That is.
And I'm not saying I like it, I want it. I'm not weighing in that way.
No,
I'm just
it's
saying that,
interesting.
I
It
mean,
really is.
we're just reporting on the news here, man. Which is why there's 11 people watching. But if we did make money car hauling 20 grand a week, I don't know. Those videos
and an
definitely.
intro where somebody's rolling around in
Truth,
cash. Right?
Those videos get 10 times the views
Oh,
as
yeah.
mine. They really
Oh,
do.
yeah.
But, and it's actually, full disclosure, I looked up that channel just to see if he was still doing it. Because
Yeah.
I don't know how you keep doing that year after year after year. Wouldn't you get tired of that?
I would think because it's not true. So it's like,
I mean, it might be true that week.
yeah, but it's not true every week. We know how that
just-
works.
And by the way, anyway, I'll stop there, man. Hey, thank you, thanks everybody so much. This really was a great show. We did an hour and a half again. We haven't done an hour and a half in a while.
Yeah.
But we had a lot to talk about. So, tomorrow on Cars on the Move, we have Joe Overby, Nick Zulovich of Cherokee Media. That's actually going to be a great show. If you're not familiar with Cherokee Media, they put on the Used Car Week show, which is probably one of the biggest automotive trade shows that affects the full automotive ecosystem. That is a must-attend show for me and Ty. Like, if we had to whittle it down, let's say if someone said you can only have 2 shows a year, where are you going? Used Car Week is probably one of them. So, it's that big of a deal. Plus, Cherokee Media puts out Auto Remarketing Magazine, which, if you watch industry news on Tuesday nights, you're always seeing this. AutoRemarketing.com. I look at this website every day, literally. Because you got, lane watch, wholesale, retail, auctions, dealers, technology. Here's one. This is going to show up Tuesday night. Halo.car begins driverless delivery of remote-controlled EVs. How do you like that headline?
That's crazy. Wow.
But I realize, Jay, that's too much. We just want to know how to make 10 grand a week. All right. Thanks for playing, everybody.
True.
So thanks for jumping in the live chat. If you like learning more and being uncomfortable, join us on Tuesday nights. But be sure to join in tomorrow with Joe and Nick. That's going to be fun, and we're going to learn more about the ecosystem and media in general. It's going to be a great show. So thank you, Sue, for your time and contribution. Thank you, Ross, Quinn, and Super Dispatch. All right, office. What do we say?
What do you say, everybody? Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks, everybody.
Hey,
We'll see you
guys.
next time. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care.